Punjab University, this is a story that is still rumbling on. There's an awful lot still happening. At first sight, it is this argument of central control, of the centre, the Indian state trying to take control of this relatively autonomous university of Punjab, which has this huge heritage and history, very much representative of Sikh culture and its history. And it was established, as I say, back in the 19th century, but it does actually have educational roots back into the Sikh empire itself. So this is why it's very, very significant. And this is why, actually, the students who attend this university are so motivated to prevent and push back on this central control. And by central control, read RSS control. So again, the students have been magnificent. They are protesting. And the thing is, despite the fact that the Hindutva RSS and the government central control have actually pulled back on their demands to de-democratise the university, to try and, again, take full control of the university. They've pulled back on that, at least temporarily. The students are not having it. The students are saying, no, that we need you to absolutely categorically and very clearly not just pull back on this, but cancel any plans that you had to de-democratise the university. This is our university, hands off. Now, the good thing that's happening here is these protests are not just happening, they're growing. And more people are coming in from other regions, from other states, from Maharashtra, from Uttar Pradesh, and from Haryana. Is that the movement is growing? And again, we talk regularly about how student movements literally have the power to topple government. You only need to look over the border into Bangladesh to see what happened last summer. And Sheikh Hasina, the government, fell because of uprisings that were initiated by students. Student uprisings, student protests brought about that downfall. Now, again, as I talk about in the podcast, this student protest isn't going to bring down the Indian government. There's no chance of that, because unlike other student protests, the Indian government is popular. We have an 80% Hindu population in India, so it remains majority popular, unlike in Bangladesh, etc. So this protest will not bring down the Indian government, but this protest could have other issues. And I often talk about a catalytic event that could bring about massive change in India, and ultimately the potential breakup, the balkanization of India. It is catalytic events, these unforeseeable events that start to build up like this boulder or even a snowball, so rolling down a hill. It gathers momentum, it builds up momentum and size until suddenly it becomes an unstoppable force. And this is potentially what could be happening here. In the Punjab, these student protests are this snowball rolling down a hill. They are gathering momentum. More and more people are pouring into this, giving it weight, lending it mass, lending it momentum. And this is what actually is terrifying the Indian state. The Indian government are actually starting to get a little bit concerned about this. And as I say, our full support to the students, because you've got something going here. Something is really happening.